If we could take your seats, we will we will begin our programs now in 1 minute. We used to take things from the audience's attention. You really think millions and they do the technique is on its way. Please everybody will take a seat in 10 seconds. You will enjoy the technique audience's attention. And here we go. You're giving an audience's attention. We are so grateful to have all. You enjoyed your time catching up on Spectrum, popularly and generously sponsored by the Margaritaville Corporation. And then I each of the group of the all right, so we're honored to gather here to support the Coast Guard Foundation and celebrate the extraordinary men and women of the Coast Guard. We've got a special video we want to share with you. Let's take a look. Hey! All right, and before we kick things off, like you might notice that tonight's program looks a little bit different. Because of the part of government shutdown, after over 10 minutes of the day, Sunday, and after some now on a program, join us. Both actors asked us to share their sincere gratitude for your incredible support and their deep request that they could not join us. We're grateful to all the Coast Guard members who are with us this evening. Can you stand up for a moment? Anybody who thinks Coast Guard, who think that's on that? Thank you. We thank all the things that we with us and thank you to our retired 14 Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard. He's going to be our keynote tonight. And when I say Pete, I want you to say Pete Jones. When I say Pete, oh yeah, I'll try one more time. When I say Pete, we're going to have His name comes up a lot tonight, and so every time we need to do that. All right, it's important to note that more than 300 Coast Guard members are in harm's way in the Middle East right now. They're in Bahrain on Coast Guard cutters and Navy ships operating aircraft and naval vessels in the area. We're honored and grateful for their service. We send our thoughts and prayers to them tonight and for their families. And so I want to make sure we remember them as we enjoy our evening here. Tonight, we specifically recognize the men and women who live and serve throughout the Southeast District, one of the busiest and most operationally demanding districts central to our national security and our maritime safety. So next, we're glad that you're all here tonight. As we move through this program, please help us honor our speakers and everyone in the room by staying quiet during their remarks. We'll make sure you have a lot of time to catch up during the dinner break and later at our after party. All right, if you haven't already started, please begin your first course. We're going to recognize some of our distinguished guests. We start off with the chairman of the Federal Maritime Commission, Laura DeBello. Director of Operations, U.S. Southern Command, Rear Admiral Brendan McPherson and his wife, Barbara. Director of Joint Interagency Task Force South, Rear Admiral Jeffrey Randall and his wife, Lisa. Commander of Coast Guard Southeast District, Rear Admiral Adam Chafee and his wife, Laura. Southeast District Command Master Chief, Henry Audette. You're ready to get it. Well, not yet. Vice Admiral Sally Price O'Hara and her husband, 10th Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, Skip Bowen. Get your big films ready now. 14th Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard and tonight's keynote speaker. When I say he, and his wife Carol. And our honoree this evening, Mr. Charles Darr, the President and CEO of the Cruise Lines International Association. We have here tonight the chairman of the Coast Guard Foundation, Tom Allegretti. And the president of the Coast Guard Foundation, Susan Ludwig. And of course, another huge welcome to all the Coast Guard members who are with us this evening. Now for the official star of our program, please rise as the United States Southern Command's Joint Service Color Guard presents our nation's health. Mark, Tom. Go, sir. Mark. Oh. Breathe in. Oh. Right shoulder up. Stand by. Go. Some of you remember me. I've been here before. I am a former Denver Bronco. When I heard them say right shoulder arms, I knew that was for the Raiders who were in the ring. That's like, really, you got to be explicit with those instructions. And then, you can't really say right shoulder to a Raider. It's confusing. You have to say the one that you're right with. All right. So please welcome now Coast Guard member, co-chair of tonight's tribute event. She is a board member. I got to meet her nephew today and learn about this 4-year-old child and the new baby that's on the way, Miss Alexandra Anacostas Iron.
All right, good evening, everyone. On behalf of the entire dinner committee, we are so grateful that you're here tonight. Thank you for being here. We believe it's especially important for those who stand together in support of the men and women who safeguard our shores, protect our commerce, and save lives every day to come here and celebrate them. We are eternally grateful for your support and proud to celebrate this great service together. Let's have a great night. As Reggie said, just listen to what everybody's saying because we tend to be a very boisterous crowd. So let's just pay attention to them and just have a wonderful time. Thanks for being here.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Now we'd like to recognize our top sponsors tonight. And let's do it football style with one synchronized clap. Like if you were in the huddle and the quarterback called the play, right, and supposed to see back my switch on one. Ready? 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 Oh yeah, you guys are quick studies. So we're going to give each of our sponsors one synchronized clap on ready. So our cocktail reception sponsor, Carnival Corporation. Ready? Our after target sponsor, Total Marine Solutions. Our defender level sponsors, American Maritime Officers and AMO. Ready? Our another defender level sponsor, King Ocean Services. Ready? And Port Everglades, Broward County. Ready? Now, how about a big round of applause for all of our sponsors? It is now my privilege to introduce a man who is so charismatic, so kind, so smart, so talented, so accomplished, and like me, so bald. Hey, the chairman of the Coast Guard Foundation, please welcome Tom Allegretti.
You never miss an opportunity now, right? Never an opportunity. And I keep telling you, I've worked my entire life to perfect this cloth. Okay. So thank you to everyone who is here tonight. I can't tell you how much we appreciate your support and your generosity. We know that it goes to the most deserving group of patriots there is. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we join with tens of thousands of foundation supporters around the country who also say thank you for the service and sacrifice of Coast Guard members as they protect, defend, and save. Now, in the 250th year of our nation, in the 236th year of our Coast Guard, America is asking the Coast Guard to do more than it has ever done before. And in response, service is investing in new ships, aircraft, advanced technologies, and a 30% increase in its personnel to meet the challenges that our nation faces. Many of you in the room here tonight are providing the equipment, that technology to ensure that the Coast Guard prevails. For the Coast Guard Foundation, this means that the numbers we serve is growing by 15,000 men and women. The Coast Guard is counting on us to fulfill our mission to improve the lives of not just the Coast Guard members that we serve today, but these new members who are coming aboard soon. Our current strategic plan sets bold fundraising, investment, support goals that will allow us to support the Coast Guard's growth, and we must make it happen. We're not just planning, we're executing, having already secured over half of our resident goals. So achieving our ambitious goals in 2026 and next year is going to allow us to triple our annual support for Coast Guard members to $15 million annually. We need to get there. And I want to thank each and every one of you for helping us do that. You're making a transformational change in our wonderful support for Coast Guard. And you are some of our nation's most esteemed philanthropists and impactful corporations. So thank you. Thank you for standing with the heroes of the Coast Guard and their families as they are leading challenges that they've never before experienced. Thank you. And now it's my distinct honor to introduce tonight's honoree, Mr. Charles Darr, President. Maritime career, but has held positions inside the Coast Guard, including Deputy Chief of Maritime and International Law, inside the U.S. Navy, and in the Margaritaville. His extensive marine experience also includes involvement and leadership with many organizations around the world. He's an active member of the International Chamber of Shipping, BIMCO, the UK Chamber of Shipping, the Liberian Shipowners Council, CLNG, Society for Gas as Marine Fuel, the World Shipping Council, the IMO World Maritime University, the Cruise Safety and Sustainability Forum, and the Stevenage Church Institute, all very worthy endeavors that require the leadership that Bud provides. For decades, Bud has been a strong and consistent advocate for the Coast Guard Foundation directly and through his member companies. Honoring him tonight allows us to celebrate his distinguished career as a maritime leader and to highlight the vital work the cruise industry and the Coast Guard conduct together to ensure safety and security on the water. But please join me on the stage to accept a small token of our appreciation and help me, and all of you, please help me welcome Bud to the stage. Bud.
Well, I think this is about the 13th time I've spoken this week, but this is the one that I really was so looking forward to because it's so full of people that I truly consider family. I was really humbled almost beyond words, and those of you who know me, to find me without words, it's kind of a rare day. And one of the reasons why is, I'll tell you, when I was an 18-year-old machinist trainee in the Navy, I started as a fireman, rebuilding valves and pumps and cleaning bilges and doing all the things you do as an engineer on a submarine. It never, ever would have occurred to me that my career pathway would take the direction it did, and that be in this position I am today. They tend to call you for these sort of things when they're reminding you it's about time for you to retire. So I was also a little surprised because I didn't think I was quite ready for that. But here, this short, fat, bald guy in the tall man's world, just trying to get by, is really pleased beyond words to be here. And you might notice that, Tom and I do share the same hairstyle, more or less. A good friend of mine, when I was a young man and actually care that I didn't have a lot of hair on the top of my head, he said, buddy, he said, don't worry, because grass still grow on a busy street. And I was very sensitive about my look at the I got it. So anyway, I want to say a few things up front. Maybe just pass on a few words, and I'll try and be brief and get less week. And I know that isn't the easiest thing for me to do, but I hope it'll be helpful. And number one is I have deep respect for our brothers and sisters in the Coast Guard and the Coast Guard Foundation itself supporting me. And I would like to recognize all of them and the great work that they do every single day, as well as all of our brave servicemen and women in harm's way on a daily basis, particularly now in such an unsettled world. It really gives me great pride to be able to look and know I did whatever part I could do in my service in the Navy and the Merchant Marine and later the Coast Guard. But it pales in comparison to genuine heroes, some of which are being honored here tonight, are not me. But it always was a great honor to be able to do my part as they carried out their mission. A couple of things I want to focus on. One is three guiding principles that have taken me through this career that, again, if I'd ever tried to script this career pathway, it just would have been impossible. And when I talk to young people, I always tell them, number one lesson is, don't think you know what the future holds for you, and don't foreclose any opportunities without thinking about them first, because you never know which door is going to open. And you end up thinking, I was going to go here, but I ended up here. And as I in this job today and have the honor and pleasure to stand in front of all of you tonight, I have one of those rare moments in your life where professionally and personally, I feel like I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, doing exactly what I am supposed to do, and surrounded by people that inspire me every single day. I remember this moment in time when, hopefully quite a few years down range, sitting on my porch, Ricky Budweiser was shooting the squirrels with my shotgun. And I looked back at this thinking, wow, what a sweet spot in my life this was. I've also am married to the love of my life, who I fell in love with when I was 16. States of looking at the farm in our 235-year-old plantation house, which swallows up $100 bills like Krispy Kreme donuts. But she would otherwise be with us if she wasn't ever again. I love where you are. You have my. So with that, a couple of things like one is be honest. In my days prosecuting environmental crimes, in which many of them were done me for a while, including Fred, who I worked for at one point, I did a lot of that. And if I took one thing away from all that, it is really hard to lie. Why bother? Time and time again, we struggle with things in our line of work about, how do we spin this? How do we say? How do I make this seem all right? Occam seems to win over and over because if you can stick to the truth, it's not hard to remember. And most of the time, it's the best thing you can possibly say. So I try to use that as a guiding principle as I go forward. Number two is be the best me I can be. I don't try to be anyone else. I've never tried. And I think I would fail miserably at it. And for better or for worse, being a genuine person that is you and being the best of it that you can be, for me, has allowed me amazing opportunities, not only in the job I'm in now, but I'm so grateful to the Aponte family for giving me the trust that they put into me to really take them to a level of public exposure and as they became the #1 cargo carrying company in the world, the third biggest cruise line in the world, both of which happened while I was there. What a great opportunity, and I'm just really grateful that I had the chance to let me be me. They didn't script me just as kindly my team has not tried to script me tonight, but they know my number will fail. Um, it really served me well, and ultimately it served the family well. I was working in this enormous privately held company, but back previously in my career too, I never took an assignment in the Coast Guard or competed for it because I thought it would get me ahead. I only did the things that just seemed interesting and the door was open to me. And it rewarded me time and time again with opportunities that if I tried to be something other than me, I don't think it would have worked. So it's a piece of advice that I also give to younger people that are either work for me or asking me for advice. So just coming up in either this great industry or in the rest of my universe, because I do have a life outside of work a little bit more than not as much as I would like sometimes, but I'm really committed to what I do and I like it. The third thing, and this is the one I want to focus on, is to be truly grateful for the things that have happened to you along the way. So it's been unpleasant. Because I think there is some truth to what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, but it probably makes us a bit smarter too. And with that, I want to thank both of my ex-wives. I mean, the people experiences, they definitely made me stronger and smarter and led me back to my one true love, Stacy, who I mentioned earlier. And I wouldn't be in that position otherwise. So I can be grateful. But I'm grateful to so many other people, many of which you know. I mentioned Fred Kinney, who was my boss previously. I'm thrilled to work with him now. People like Chuck Michelle, in my own home. I mentioned the Aponte family already. The people that I work with now, tremendous leaders I've been able to work under, such as Emma Van Allen and Christine Duffy. I don't think Christine's here tonight, but what amazing people. And if you're listening and you're paying attention and you absorb the good and the bad and do the best you can be, I have found it just paid off in spades. And lots of people, I'm so grateful for helping to shape my life into what I feel pretty good about for a short time off and trying to make it in the tallest in the world. And I will try to continue to live those principles every day, but also to along my staff will feel very comfortable following those principles, including being themselves and being the best them that they can be. I don't understand between you and the rest of what I think would be a dinner and an enjoyable evening. But again, I express my gratitude to all of you. I'm so humbled by this. I didn't expect it all. But I'm so glad that I received it because Coast Guard Foundation is one of those organizations I believe in very, very deeply. A couple others I'll mention. Tom mentioned Seamless Church Institute, which I'm on the trustee board. Janie's a Ruth. She as well, and Tom's successor, Jen Carpenter, is a great organization that I believe in very much. And the last one I'm going to mention is Mercy Ships. The day Mercy Ships was led into my heart was a day that changed my life and it will change it forever. And for those of you who don't know the story of Don Stevens and the great work that they do, I would encourage you to take a look. It has changed your life. So with that, I'll conclude. Let the real business continue. But once again, especially thank you to the true heroes of the Coast Guard. I could not be more grateful for this opportunity to be here this evening.
Okay, he's a official for him getting his award. And next, I find tall and ball men ring, stand up for a moment and make Oh, yeah. Yes, and so what? Tomorrow we're going to do it. It's going to. It's not even better. It's not anything. It's a response with your records. Congratulations, but we're proud of it. Great for you. I thought for sure he was going to quote Eddie Murphy in his third point, which is to keep Will Smith's wife's name out to damn mouth. Everybody, please enjoy your dinner, enjoy your company, your table. We'll continue our program here soon.